see, we still have some little Christmas decorations hanging around our patio door here. We never stop celebrating. We're happy all year and celebrating. Yeah, I had a couple of videos that I wanted to make. This particular one, I decided to go ahead and do right now while I was thinking about it, based on a comment I recently got on one of my videos, you know. But it's funny, you get these trolls online, YouTube, wherever, that know more about you and your life than you do, you know. It's like one person who said, I made a comment in one of my videos about how my wife wasn't really into all that drama and stuff, and wasn't into hanging out with all these other Filipinas and running around and getting involved in all the chismes and things like that, you know. And the one comment says, this guy's delusional if he thinks his wife's not into drama. You know, they live for it. They're all like that, you know, which tells us a lot more about him than it does about Filipinas, you know. His generalizing about every single one of them like that. But you get a lot of bitter, angry, cranky people who are like that, you know. And they think they know more about your wife than you do. They know more about the person you're involved with or Filipinas than you do. I don't know how many Filipinas this guy knows, if he's ever actually known any, or if all the ones he knew were, you know, bar girls and sluts and things like that, or if he's ever actually known any, you know, good, you know, upstanding Filipinas, of which there are quite a lot, you know. But you get that kind of stupid people on the internet. But I had a comment on this one video I did where I talked about, you know, is the Philippines a third world country, you know, or a developing nation or a developed nation? And I said, it's your choice, you know, it depends where you want to be. There's a, you know, because the Philippines can offer you a taste of everything, you know, from very, very poor, out in the sticks, people living in nipa huts and no infrastructure, to places that would put a lot of American cities to shame these days. But this one guy made a comment that I've never been to Mindanao, if I, you know, or else I would know that it's a third world country. He said, if you're in Cebu, Manila, Iloilo, places like that, it's, you know, then maybe it's not. But if you're in, you know, come to Mindanao. I don't know if he's ever been to Mindanao. That's a good question, you know. He's obviously never heard of Davao or Cagayan or any place like that. He obviously never saw my whole playlist of videos I have where we built a house in fucking Mindanao, you know. You know, it just, it blows my mind. But I replied to him, you know, actually my wife, who just got back from Mindanao recently and checking out our house and hanging out with all her relatives there in that town where we're going to be living. And that place is booming. There's all kinds of new cafes and stuff going on. And, you know, I guess it recently got upgraded to like a Class A municipality or something like that. I forget exactly what she said. But there's a lot of stuff going on there. And nice developments. And apparently there's a ton of foreigners around there now too, compared to the last time when I was over there. Because this one new cafe, she said every time they went there, there was some foreigner there. So the secret's out. That's that's what one other guy tells me, that, you know, he keeps his favorite places secret. You know, you run into these guys who have their little secret places that they don't want anybody else to know about, because the rest of us will go ruin it, have the secret knowledge. But you run into all kinds on the internet, on your YouTube page. That comes with having a YouTube page, is that people who don't know anything about you, they have no clue where you've been, what you've done, what you've seen. They haven't even done the basic, you know, of looking at what your page is like and what you've got on your page. I realized that all my stuff about my house build was like 1.5 years ago, so you might have to search and scroll a little before you would find it, probably. But, you know, I have a house in Mindanao. We have another piece of property in Mindanao. And you get some guy on the internet just wanting to prove to you what an idiot you are and that he knows more than you do, and wants to tell you, oh, yeah, you should go to Mindanao. I had one other guy tell me that places like BGC, that's like, I guess, the only decent place in the country now. Not even Makati now, because they let the beggars in and crime and all of that. But you're out in the provinces, it's not a developing nation at all, because one other person commented on my video, that the Philippines was definitely a developing nation, putting a lot of effort into infrastructure and things like that. But this guy said, you're out in the province. He didn't say where in the province or anything like that, or what his personal experience is in the province, but it's going backwards. It's not developing, it's going the other way. So that's kind of interesting. I don't know. A lot of people, though, that's the problem with when you're on a YouTube channel and you're putting yourself out there and making videos, that you've got all kinds of people coming out of the woodwork to try and tell you how stupid you are because you have a different opinion than they do, and they have no clue what you know. They have no clue at all where you've been, what experiences you've had over there. I know there are crappy places in the Philippines. Some of them are places that people apparently love. My experience when I went to El Nido way back when sucked. I mean, of course I was stuck there for the first 2 days with a 12-year-old boy who was missing his mother and waiting for her to get there because she was stuck on another island because of a storm, and they cut off the power all day long, so there's nothing to do. You can't watch TV, you can't get a drink other than like bottled water or a beer at the local little local clubs or places out there on the beach, because they can't even blend you up a smoothie or something. And the place where we were staying had this glass enclosed stairwell. The place was hot as hell, and I thought for a place that's supposed to be such a tourist destination, it was just a shitty little fishing village. It was cool, but it certainly didn't live up to my expectations. If you're out island hopping, we went out and did a thing, all the little Secret Cove and all those places. And if you're out snorkeling all day and then you come back after the power's on, that's a different story, I guess. They don't expect people to be sitting around actually in El Nido during the day. But I'm very well aware of what the problems are in the Philippines. Yeah, I've been through the muddy ditches getting to, Sabang to go on the underground river cruise and stuff like that in a tourist van, and it's nothing but a muddy trail to get back to this nice hotel and everything on the beach. So I've seen a lot over there, and I love it. I love it when people have no clue. They haven't even listened to, I guess, any of my videos where I talk about the fact that in another couple of years or so, maybe, I'll be living in Mindanao. And I've made multiple trips there, and we have a house there. I got married in Mindanao by the mayor of the town where we're going to be living, So, yeah, I know what's happening in Mindanao. And if they want to call it a third world, undeveloped or regressing place, I guess that's their prerogative. But sometimes you just don't know what to say. Actually, that was going to be one of my other video I made. I made a little rough first take of it. Was I was driving home from work today, but I didn't want to make it in my postal uniform and stuff while I'm driving down the road, just to kind of give myself some ideas, remember what I was thinking. But basically it was about people who hate the Philippines, but they're still living there. I don't know why. Are they trapped there? Did they fall in love with somebody, get married, have some kids or whatever, and now they're stuck there and they just can't leave, but they hate it every day? Because a lot of these guys, they want to tell you how horrible the place is, and you don't know what you're talking about because you're not there and they are. Why are they there if they hate it that much? I just don't understand. It blows my mind. So the only thing I can think of is they're trapped. I mean, maybe they're in love with someone. They can't afford to come back to the States and don't have enough of a steady income to bring them over here, and then they'd be separated from them for a couple of years or something, trying to get it all done. Maybe they don't even have the the emergency fund or whatever to be able to fly back here in the first place, they wouldn't be able to get a job and have a place to live when they came back here while they were waiting for the paperwork to get done. And maybe that's the deal. Maybe they're just stuck there and they hate it. And they're mad at their life. They hate their life because they're stuck somewhere they don't want to be. And so they go on YouTube and tell everybody else who has a different experience from them that they're an idiot and don't know what they're talking about. But yeah, I've been to Mindanao. Been to a lot of different places in Mindanao. I've been to some places that, you know, you might not want to be, and maybe after dark on your own as a white boy, you know. I don't know. I just don't know what it is that drives people to assume that they know more about you and your life than what you know about yourself. But it makes them feel special, and you know, like they're experts, because like I say, there's so many negative people out there, and they think it makes them cool and the voice of reason and logic to tell you how horrible the place is. And yet they're still there, supposedly. You know, you don't know where they are. But whatever.